What's going on, guys? Isaiah or SlashPit24 here. Today, bringing you 3 T-side smokes on the new active duty map, DE Ancient. Our first one here is going to be for middle, for the mid doors. You're going to wedge yourself in this little corner here, and then you're going to aim up at this little corner up on top of the sort of stone tower. You're going to just, this one isn't super precise, but you're going to kind of wedge your crosshair just along the edge of the wall, and then do a jump throw. All 3 smokes I'll be showing you today are a jump throw. But for this specific smoke for the mid doors, there's obviously a bunch of different ways you can do this, but I found that this one that I found on Reddit was very consistent. I'll be showing you some alternate angles here in just a second, but like I mentioned, very consistent. It hits off the little side of the sort of square stone thing, and then lands right in the center of that mid doors. If you're looking at it from the sort of CT perspective, you can see here, you kind of want to always be throwing the smoke to gain that mid control. A lot harder to do as a T on this map than a CT due to how the timings work. But as you can see, if you throw the smoke, the opper or player really playing behind these mid doors would be completely smoked off and would have to sort of push through that smoke in order to retake mid. And then obviously isn't something that you're going to want to do as a CT at middle. Showing you it here for you one more time, a little bit quicker. Like I mentioned for this one, it is not a specific, exact pixel perfect thing you need to do, but it is a jump throw. But you're seeing me just kind of doing it quickly. Wedge yourself in that sort of bottom left corner of the structure, and as long as you don't throw it too far to the left and hit that tower, or too far to the right and miss it, it's pretty consistent, and is definitely one that just needs a couple of practice times, and you should be able to hit it no problem at all. I have 2 more smokes for you here today in this video, and our second one here is going to be coming up on the B site. It's going to be for that sort of B long position. There's a bunch of positions on B, but it's for that sort of right side of the square structure. You're going to have this little crate here towards the C side of B. You're going to just line yourself up in the middle of the crate, and then aim specifically for this, the bottom part of one of these little, I don't really know what to call them, the little stone V's. Aim for the bottom of it, and then do a jump throw. This one is a little bit trickier, I would say, than the one for middle. But if you throw the smoke correctly, it'll actually hit that little lip, the little stone lip of the bomb site, and perfectly smoke off that sort of right side of the site position. You can see here the smoke comes in, it's that little lip, and you really want to try and hit that lip in order to correctly smoke off this spot. If you're looking at it from the CT perspective, this is going to be a very common spot for the CTs to play. But as you can see here, this specific smoke that I created basically completely smokes off a player at this position. And it's also going to make them kind of have to, if they want to, push out and play really out in the open, which will make it a lot easier to sort of take the site and get the bomb planted. Showing it to you here just one more time, sort of like the last one, even though it's a little bit more precise, you can still do it very quickly, and you don't need to aim in with an op to get it, pixel perfect. You just aim for the bottom part of that little stone V, and as long as you sort of don't miss it too low or too high, with some practice, you'll be able to land this one, and it will certainly help you with your B site takes on the new map Ancient. Our final smoke here is for the A site. We have 1 for middle, 1 for B, and 1 for A. Our A site smoke is for the back of the site towards the CT spawn, and we're actually going to throw this one from the exact same spot as we threw our mid smoke. You're going to wedge yourself here in this little corner. I would say that out of all 3 of the smokes today, this one is the most precise. As you can see here, scoping in with the op, you're going to aim at that stick there. It's a little stick that kind of runs vertically in this tree. You just aim for that stick, wedge yourself in the same little corner, and then do another jump throw. I tried to find a smoke for the back of the site for A site for quite some time. Experimented with a bunch of different little visual indicators, but I found that specifically this stick was the best one by far. You'll see here once again on the alternate angles and the CT perspective. You want to make sure that you don't miss this smoke too low or too high, because that will make the smoke sort of land too deep and not completely smoke off this position. But there is a little bit of wiggle room, I would say, on the left and right side. If you miss this smoke slightly to the left or slightly to the right, it still can land sometimes if you get a fortunate bounce. But in general, as you can see here, if you aim for that stick, the position is completely smoked off. Most importantly, the CTs have to play out into the site. They can't just peek around that little stone corner. They would have to completely play behind the boxes in the site, which is a very risky move for the CTs. Once again here, the final look at it, just sort of doing it in a more sort of faster lineup. It is more precise than our previous 2 smokes, but I would still say that you can do it pretty quickly. You just kind of aim for that little gap in the tree. You're not going to be able to see a stick unless you're like scoping in with an op, but either way, with some practice, with some, time in the offline server, This is definitely going to be a good smoke to use. Obviously, there's a lot of other angles on this site, but smoking off that back CT position will be extremely important for taking the A site. And all three of these smokes, I would say, are certainly good ones to know for this new active duty map. Anyways, guys, that's basically going to do it for today's video. That was 3 very simple jump throw T-side smokes on the new active duty map DE Ancient. Definitely with a new map in the pool, you're going to want to take some time and learn some smokes. But if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Plenty more CSGO content on the way here very soon. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.